Forli, ready to go to the airport? Ready to go flying? Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of Forward with Forli. Today Forli and I are going to be traveling and we're going to be sharing with you our perspective in regards to traveling during the coronavirus pandemic. Now this is a perspective, this isn't a how-to guide, how to travel. There's lots of information out there on the subject, how to stay safe, but there's a lot of questions about this subject. Full disclosure, this is the second time I've traveled during the coronavirus pandemic. The first time I was really nervous about it. I didn't know what to expect and I thought that others might be feeling the same way. And so I thought I would share with you a little bit about my perspective in regards to traveling. I've done my homework, I've done my research, I'm doing everything I can to stay safe. Know that if you're going to travel during a global pandemic, there's going to be a bit of a risk. There always is. But in doing my research, air travel is still the safest way to go. So with that, let's get going. We're leaving time. Waiting for a ride. I gotta go check my bag over here, and the way I'm gonna do this is use a cane. So basically, heel dog, use cane. I'm a little bit in a hurry, so I gotta get going here, but dogs don't understand lines, they don't understand social distancing, so this cane is really your best bet for this. So yeah, we're gonna go check this bag and go through security. All right, made it through security. I wasn't able to film the secure checkpoint. TSA is pretty particular about that sort of stuff for obvious reasons. The only real difference is TSA will ask you to pull your mask down briefly so that they can verify your identity and compare it to what you present when you hand them your ID. Other than that, pretty standard procedure, social distancing in order, of course. This is another great place to pull out the cane. I found myself healing my dog through this area and using a cane to help maintain social distance between myself and other travelers. And TSA officers were really good about maintaining social distance as well. First class upgrade. Thanks, Alaska. Nice holiday surprise for myself and Forli. Landing in Seattle now. Bye. 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 Have a good one. Yeah. Happy holidays. Flight 1 of 2 done. Went very well.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Flight 2 of 2, leaving Seattle now. Different plane, same experience. always tell when you're leaving Western Washington. There's a definite line of clouds hanging over the Cascade Mountain Range. On board, we got a small cookie, and I went for a can of orange juice. Landing again.
Have a good day, okay?
Thanks. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
We've arrived at perhaps one of the country's smallest airports. This airport is in Pullman, Washington, in southeast Washington state. There's only one gate at this airport, and baggage claim is in a small building off to my left. This is also the only airport where I've ever left the secure area through a turnstile gate, something that you might see at a train platform or something. Very strange, but I guess it does the job. So it's a few days later. I felt like this video deserved a proper conclusion. I unfortunately didn't have time to film on my trip, so I'm back home now. I want to say the experience overall went really well. Traveling during the COVID-19 pandemic is certainly different. It's doable. Is it safe? Not going to answer that question. Everybody's idea of safe is different, and everybody's tolerance level and comfort level with the pandemic is different. So I'm going to leave that to you to make up your decision as to whether you think it's safe. But I hope this video gives you a perspective of what it's like traveling with a visual impairment, with a guide dog. Personally, I think the airlines, the airports, and other support staff are doing everything they can to make the air travel experience as safe as possible while traveling. A couple things to note. If you're going to use airport assistance, I highly recommend that you plan accordingly. Give yourself extra time, even if you know the layout of your airport like the back of your hand. If you plan on using airport assistance, if you're making connections, give yourself a little extra time. I noticed that response time was a bit slower. It's possible that they're understaffed. I was also traveling during the holidays during a global pandemic. So this isn't a judgment, it's rather just an observation. So give yourself some time. I found that the airport staff were a bit less touchy. They were pretty good about maintaining social distance. You could always ask them if you wanted to make sure that they were 6 feet from you. So I think that's a benefit, because there's always been this challenge of, support staff walking up and grabbing a blind person or making somebody sit in a wheelchair who doesn't need one. That seems to be diminished to a certain degree, and this is just my experience. I don't know this is across the board, but it's something to keep in mind as well. If you want a little extra peace of mind, you can certainly ask the airlines what kind of aircraft you are taking. Different aircraft are going to have different types of boarding procedures. They're going to have different layouts. I flew on two different types. One had 3 seats per row. The other had 2 seats. So window, middle, aisle on one, and then on the other aircraft it was just window, aisle. So depending on the type of aircraft, the configuration will determine where that extra empty seat is, or if there's being social distance measures being implemented. You can always check on that and find out, per aircraft, if you're making multiple stops along your journey. I also noticed that when you do get in-flight service, the flight crew will ask for you to wait until they pass by before you can pull your mask down and eat and drink. So just kind of keep that in mind. Oh, by the way, new place. Forli's got a nook, which she has left. It's right over there. So very nice little space for her and I, and first time filming in the new place. I hope you appreciated this experience. I hope it was helpful to you. Click the notification bell, comment, like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.